So the thought of Spider-Man being in the Civil War, oh yes, baby. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes. He's not my favorite superhero, Batman is, but he's one of my favorite superheroes. So the thought of Spider-Man being in the MCU when I heard the news just brought me so much joy. I was so happy because the tone, the feel of Spider-Man fits so right with the tone and feel that Disney and Marvel are doing over there. So Spider-Man being in the Civil War, we all know this, but how is he going to be incorporated in Civil War? So we have an article here, and I will provide the link in the description box so you can read it yourself, but let me get to it. So Geek is reporting that Spider-Man is going to definitely how he gets weaved in is an interesting not an interesting concept, but a very grounded, and I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see, this is going to take place like 10 years after Iron Man, of course. And what's crazy is that Peter actually, because Tony was pretty much the first Avenger, if you think about it. Well, Captain America is, but Peter sees Tony, being Iron Man, and he looks up to him. That's his hero. That's who he looks up to. That's who that's his idol. That's his idol. So you take Peter, and he's like 15 years old at this point, and then Tony has been watching him. Like at this point, Spider-Man has been established. Like he's not with the Avengers, of course. He's been doing his own thing. He's been saving people. He's been fighting crime. While he's been doing that, that doesn't mean Shield doesn't know about him. Shield definitely knows about him, and Tony knows about him. So Tony has been watching this kid, and he goes up to Peter and he says, "Listen, kid." He uses his charm. How you doing? Is that a suit? Is that a suit? That's not a great suit. Let me give you a suit. So basically, Tony is offering him, of course, an Iron Spider-Man suit, an Iron Man type Spider-Man suit, and he wants him to join the fight against Captain America. Now, this is what's crazy is that Spider-Man's going to fight. Spider-Man's going to be in Tony's side. So, because Tony's going to recruit him. But I like the idea that, he looked up to Tony. He looked up to Iron Man. That was his idol. And, Peter is somewhat a young genius. He is very, very smart, and of course it's Tony. But I like it. It really makes sense for Peter to actually be on board on Tony's side, because I was wondering how they're going to do that, and for him to really idolize Tony Stark and to really see him, because he could have saw Captain America only in stories or something like that, because Captain was an capsicle. So Tony recruiting Spider-Man, we all knew that was going to happen, but Spider-Man idolizing Tony, somewhat we knew that was going to happen too, but not as far as actual in-depth detail about that. Maybe we'll get a flashback of Spider-Man thinking when he was a kid, like, oh, I wanted, or even expressing himself like, I wanted to be like you. That's why I'm fighting as well, because you're my idol and stuff. And of course, Ben, Uncle Ben is probably his words too culminated Peter to do what he's doing. But I like it. I think it makes sense. I can't wait to see the film. I think the film's gonna rock it. I still think Batman v Superman is my most anticipated film, even though they're revealing so much over there. But not showing Spider-Man yet, I hope they keep that up until the release of the film, because I don't want to see Spider-Man. You can show me everything else. Black Panther is fine, because we really need to showcase this character in order to really get invested with Black Panther, because honestly, I feel bad for Black Panther because he got kind of pushed out of the side for a little bit because Spider-Man now is in this film. How much is Spider-Man going to be in this film? I think he's going to be, because he plays a huge role, yes, in the comics, but they're going to change it up for this film, instead of the comics. It's not going to be beat for beat like the comics. Well, maybe a little bit of it, but so Spider-Man could be hidden. Don't need to see any images. Don't need to see the new costume. Nothing. Just leave it until the release. As for Black Panther, it's fine if they show a little bit more or not. I mean, I would love to be surprised going into this film, and so far we gotten enough to be very, very intrigued and very interested and look forward to it. Well, we're gonna already look forward to it, but I think they're doing a great job over there. So I'm Dan Manke, Daniel's son. As always, please hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. And thank you guys for listening. And the article will be in the description box, so go check it out. See you guys.